Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show, y'all. We're having a little bit of difficulties on Facebook, so if you're viewing in from Facebook, we're having troubles. It says streaming to Facebook. All right, it may be on Facebook's end, but guess what? We are here, so thank you so much for being with us. If you are here this morning, if you are here, please let us know that you are coming in. All right, here we go. How you doing? Stories of unapologetic confidence. Good morning to you, Madame. I know it's you, Leslie George. So thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And so I am troubleshooting as we speak because, that's what we do sometimes on the live show. We've got to get it together. We got to figure it out, right? I'm so glad that you're doing well. So happy belated Thanksgiving to everyone, okay? Because I was not here last week. I was actually at home in Indiana celebrating and having a good old time with my family there. And so now we're back into the December, okay, things that we have to do. So I'm not quite sure what's going on in Facebook land, but guess what, y'all? We are here. We are here. So as you come in, let me know where what your name is and where you're streaming in from, so that way I can give you a proper shout out. But today, y'all, we've got a great show. Okay. So as some of you know, as you've been in here and you've been with me for quite some time, yes, it was great. It was awesome. And now, you got to come back. I gained about 5 pounds or so. That is, it's all good. I just ate and I just relaxed and I rested because I needed the downtime. And now I'm back on the train, if you will. So yes, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and got some downtime with your family as well. So y'all, as you know, I am the CEO and founder of Slay to Success. Slay to Success is a full business, if you will. I advise and empower women professionals, especially women veterans, to step up into their most authentic personal brand to gain lucrative opportunities. Whatever those opportunities are, whether or not you're transitioning into a leadership role, you're transitioning out of a long career and you wanting to rebrand yourself because that was the older version of yourself, and now you are stepping into the newer version of yourself and you're reimagining yourself now. And we are about to enter in 2025. Okay, just in a few weeks. And so if you are looking to step into something new, energized, hopeful, with inspiration, I am your girl. Okay, I am a personal brand expert. I am a certified image consultant. Also, I'm an author. And so I'm an author of several different books, if you will, 3 books in an anthology. And 2 of those I've written specifically to personal branding. And then I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I served 30 years in the Air Force, and now I am here to help you create a strategic plan based on personal branding. What is personal branding? Personal branding is an intentional effort, all right, to let people know what you're doing, how you're doing it, so that way it could be in alignment with the values, expertise, and the skills that you have. We just don't be taking any old thing. All right. So what we are doing is making sure, from a holistic approach, our appearance, behaviors, and body language, communication skills, and our digital presence is on point. All right. So that way, when people are reaching out, they know exactly why they're reaching out to you. And then you could provide that service, if you will, as an entrepreneur, if you will, or in a leadership role. You are putting it out there. All right. You have a vision. So I help you to create that. And then you create the steps to get into it. And then we look at it, we refine it. I have several clients that I'm working with, all the way from styling. All right. Because I help women to look the part, dress the part, feel good about themselves so they can have the confidence that they need to step in front of people if they are communicating what they offer. all the way to we're looking at your identity, because sometimes we don't know during transition what we're doing, how we're doing it, who we are. We have evolved over time. And so all you're doing is just renewing it, right? So today, y'all, I do want to talk seriously about um, when you're creating your personal brand and what happens. Okay, it scares people because they're like, what? What are you doing? Is that a thing? I've heard a gamut of it, because stepping up in your greatness makes other people uncomfortable because they're either stuck or they don't see themselves doing what you're doing. So they downplay, they minimize, they feel threatened by what you're doing. And people start to really change their behavior against you. For example, when you're telling people, hey, I'm doing something new or I'm leveling up, you may be getting side eyed. You may be being looked at like, what are you talking about? Everyone starts to get quiet for whatever reason. Um, and their support is little to none because they don't know what you're talking about. They're not at that same energy level that you are at. And you're glowing up. And when you glow up, and people see something different about you, they don't know how to take that. And so their support for them, they're like, no, we're not even gonna help her or get involved, because this is going to be something like a flash in the pan. And then it's going to end and it's not going to take root. So anyway, it's their insecurity. So that's why in my post that I had on LinkedIn, okay, so if you're on LinkedIn, y'all, I'm in there every day. So hey, LinkedIn, how you doing? Okay. Facebook, something's happening with Facebook today, y'all. I don't know exactly why, but they're having problems. Just remove this destination from their stream and re-add it. Okay. I will load it up on Facebook later for those that are looking for me. If you are on Facebook and you can't see me, don't worry. I'll get you covered. All right. So I want to unpack this just a little bit so that way you understand. And then I'm going to give you a story because I love telling my stories. All right. Because that's part of personal branding, storytelling. And I also want to give you some tips, all right, on how you can deal with side eyes, the glares, the what are you doing? We are not going to help you out. We don't know what's happening, okay? Because when you decided to invest in your personal brand, you're not just changing how you show up. You're commanding space, you're commanding influence, and you're also commanding respect. Okay. And this kind of energy is magnetic, but for some, it can feel threatening. Why? Because they see in you what they're afraid to address in themselves. Okay. They're, again, afraid to address this for themselves, and so they're going to pull back. They're going to be on the sideline. They're going to run up to a mountain, if you will, put on their binoculars, and they're just going to start to look in because they have no idea. They are maybe stuck in their comfort zone while you're taking the risk. You're growing, you're transforming into a better version of yourself. And so your confidence really highlights their lack of it. All right. We're increasing our confidence level as we're investing in our personal branding. Again, personal branding is from a holistic approach. That's how I see it. And that is the way you look, the way you talk, the way you walk into a space or room, and to be able to gain opportunities. Maybe perhaps you have a goal in mind and you are not quite sure how to take that on. You can do that from investing into your personal brand. But sometimes, when you have high confidence about yourself, other people can't really see it. So I'm just going to be for reals. It's not a you problem, it's a them problem. Okay? It's not you. So don't look at it as, well, I'm doing something wrong. All right. You're doing everything right. Why? Because a lot of times people are not investing in themselves because there's a lot of other things going on. And so the last person that's being taken care of is you. And you have dreams, goals, aspirations like everybody else. And for whatever reason, you can't get there because you are really listening to these people who are just like stuck. They have no idea what to do with their life. And now you're trying to figure it out. And you're boldly walking into that and you're embracing into your potential. All right. You have the courage now. You're the one that is being bold. You're the one that's being intentional about how you want to step into your next, whatever that is. All right. So good morning, Jen Quill. How you doing, Queen? How's it going? I know you're still, active duty. So thank you for your service. And I know that you probably got a million and one things to be doing. So thank you so much for being here with me this morning live. Okay. And I hope you're doing well. And I hope that your Thanksgiving was good for you. Okay. Ate a lot of great food because she works out, y'all. Okay. Just like I do. And this morning, because this is the Rise and Slay show, I always like to share what I do in the morning. So this morning I was on my spin bike and I did a 30-minute hit. And then I went and got some weights and I did like a metabolic conditioning with weights. Okay, got it in. So if you have not moved your body today, hopefully you have a plan to do that today because our health is our wealth. And for whatever we're doing, especially if you are rebranding yourself, it's one of the ways that you can gain confidence to step into your personal brand, your individualized plan, okay, to get things done. So, again, when people are scared and they're not supporting you and they're looking at you like you got 10 heads, it is a them problem. It's not a you problem, okay? So, the reaction is about their limitations, if you will. It's not yours, okay, to even be dealing with. So don't even let it get to you. Do not let it discourage you, not one bit. You are on a mission to create a life of purpose, empowerment, and fulfillment. And that's your story. And it's too powerful to be dimmed by anyone. And so I would just want to share with you a story. Okay. And I have some notes here written out for me so I can stay on point, y'all, because I can go a million and one directions because there's a lot going on here with Slay to Success. Okay. So when I launched Slay to Success, okay, in 2022, originally. In 2022, I registered my business with the state of Virginia. We decided not to move to Virginia. My cousin, who is a realtor, been a realtor in the DMV area for most of her adult life, found our home here in Maryland. So I had to re-register my business for the state of Maryland. So originally it was in 2022, I registered, but really I didn't start to really work the business until 2023. And I thought I was ready for anything, y'all. Okay. I had served 30 years in the Air Force. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to take this business on. I'm going to do what I need to do to empower, inspire other women, okay, women professionals, especially women veterans, to, think about something that they want to do because they have done a whole lifetime of something and they want to do something new. So I poured my heart and soul into creating a brand that reflected who I truly was. And I know I am a bold, fearless, purposeful, driven woman who has given those 3 decades of service to the United States Air Force. I had a mission, okay? And this is my mission to empower women, okay? To step into their light, to own their story, and to build a personal brand that open doors to opportunities they only once dreamed of. Again, if you have been following me, thank you so much for following my journey. and you have seen where I started at to where I am right now. I really took on this personal brand because I wanted to step out of the uniform. Okay. I didn't want to be called chief per se, right? I wanted to find out who Rochelle was and what Rochelle can do. And I realized that over time, I have been partnering with all these organizations, been able to be on stages, to share my story, to help others, having the book, going out and telling the story as it is for my own. And I really, I, I am now still on fire. But when I really started out, I was on fire, y'all. And I was ready to change lives. But what I didn't expect was people laughing, mocking, telling me like, what is this you're doing? And yeah, these people were laughing. They were laughing at me. And it still happens. I just experienced it last week. Okay. Some people in the family, if you will, were just kind of snickering in the background, like, oh, she's like CEO, slay to successful to slay. Well, slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym. Okay. It stands for stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last. Now, when people hear that, they don't know what to take of that. I'm a very ambitious. I go for things. I have a proof of concept. I know this thing works. I have had, I don't know how many clients since 2023. Then and people continue to come to me for support, and I am more than happy to give them the support that they need. It is working. All right. But people are just where they're at. They do not have it. You're speaking my language. I learned this year. Everyone cannot come for the drive. We should want riders. We need drivers. Yes. People want to stay where they're at because it's comfortable, you know? And this is what scares them because you know what you want. You know where you're going. You know what you're doing. And that scares a lot of people because they don't know it for themselves, y'all. Okay. So it really started with whispers. You know, you can hear people in the background whispering, if you will. Oh, she's calling herself Slay. What is Slay? That's so cute. Then there's not so subtle jokes, if you will, right? They're like, is she really serious with this? Is she really about to do this? What's she going to teach people? Is she posing for selfies? Why is she on these social media platforms like that? Some comments even came from people, again, like I considered my friends or colleagues, especially when I was still serving in the military. I remember an incident very clearly. I was at an induction ceremony, which is like where we promote people to certain ranks, right? And I said, hey, y'all, the vision is to show up in excellence. The vision is to do whatever you can to help others and to lead by example. And we're going to do this with the slave framework. And I just went in and started talking about it, right? I started saying things like, stay ready to be ready because it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and to have an opportunity to present itself and you are not ready. Okay, so what do you need to prepare yourself right now? What are the steps that you need to take? Then I talk about leadership, all right? Because leadership it's a whole thing. It's very complex, all right? There's a lot of different ways that you can lead people, but if people are not following you, you are not a leader. Okay, you just talking. So how are you investing in your leadership style that fits for you, not somebody else's blueprint? Because it don't even sound right. I had people like faking it till they're making it, if you will, and they were talking like robots. And I was like, ugh, what are we doing here? People do not connect to robots. Then it was talking about, like, hey, we're a community. That means all hands on deck. If we have a mission and we need to get done, a task to get done, let's think about how you can contribute. All right. Do not allow just one or two people to do all the work. You have expertise and skills that you can provide to get it done. And you could probably get it done more quickly. All right. If you think of a community, and then you are built to last as a mindset. Okay. How resilient are you? Do you take on challenging things? Why is it that you're waiting for everybody else to tell you that you can do hard things? So I just went in and people just like, oh, what are we doing? All right. Yes, Queen. You know me. I am here for it too. I am not giving up on this at all because I know the importance of what I do and the impact that I'm making on other people's lives. And so when we know this for a fact, we just got to keep showing up. Okay? We got to keep showing up. So I've even had people say personal branding, is that a real business? What are you talking about? Someone even said that to me, right? And I'm like, do you even know what I'm talking about? Are you even listening to what I'm talking about here? Because I probably have given you several tips and advice and things that you can do right now to improve your situation, but you're just not catching it. All right. So at first I would laugh along. I'd be like, oh, okay, there is a little bit of something, pretending it didn't really bother me. But then late at night, when it was just me in my thoughts, the doubt started creeping in. What if they're right? What if my brand is a joke? What if I am the joke? Okay. I just couldn't shake that feeling of being misunderstood, even mocked for daring to step out of the shadow of my military career and into a world where women like me, women over 40, because I'm 52 now, y'all, okay, women veterans, we're often overlooked or dismissed still. And we're about to be in 2025. And when I tell people, at a point, I don't go in and say, hey, I'm retired, Chief Master Sergeant Rochelle Hemingway. I don't do any of that, y'all. Okay. I'm just having a conversation. And then if it comes up and it's appropriate, because some people be like, well, what did you do before you started Slay to Success? Then I tell them, yeah, I served, in the military for 30 years, but I'm trying to step away from that. But when I do share that, people are like, what? You? Mm-mm. Yes, me. And there are many women just like me who have served a long career, all right? And we don't look broken and destitute and looking like we just done come out of, the war zone, if you will. Yes, I've been to combat, okay? I've been in combat zones, but I don't look like what I've been through because I decided to really take care of myself, all right, through that whole experience. But I didn't spend 30 years in the military to shrink, okay? I didn't spend it to shrink, especially when I'm faced with adversity. And I wasn't about to start now after hearing people mocking me and laughing and whispering and saying all this stuff. So one morning I really stood in front of the mirror, and this was probably a few months after I registered my business in 2023 with the state of Maryland. And I had a conversation with myself. And I said, hey, Rochelle, what is your vision for Slay to Success? Slay to Success. And is it clear enough? And the response is, of course, yeah. And do you know the lives you're going to impact with your work? And my response was, absolutely. Then why are you letting someone else's laughter dictate your worth? Okay. And that was a moment I really realized the people laughing didn't see my vision because it wasn't their vision. My purpose wasn't meant to fit into their narrow perspective, period and point blank. So, if you are an entrepreneur or you are an inspiring leader, or coming out of a long career, just know this: you're not meant for everybody. Okay, what you want to be doing in this next could be totally different from what you were doing previously. So I had to flip the narrative, y'all. I changed the storyline. Instead of letting the doubt really crush me and really put me down, I let it fuel me. Okay, it drives me. And I dove deeper into my mission, fine tuning my message, perfecting my services, and showing up unapologetically as my authentic self. That's what you get every time. I do not edit any of my videos. Nope. Why? Because I want people to see themselves in me. I'm just like anybody else. Okay. I'm a human being who makes errors, who doesn't always look all polished and, whatever on the social medias, right? And that's okay, because you have to start out from somewhere. And every snide comment that I have received or continue to hear has been my stepping stone. Okay. Every doubter is a reason to push harder. And that's what I'm doing. So fast forward to today, and Slay to Success is thriving. Okay. Thriving, thriving. I've worked with countless women and a man so far who felt stuck, who felt overlooked, and uncertain about their next step. And I've watched them transform into being a confident powerhouse. Okay. I've stood on stages, I've led workshops, and I shared my stories with audiences who needed to hear that their dreams are valid, their voice matters, and their personal brand is their secret weapon. And those who left, well, some of them are now asking for advice. Okay. Funny how that works, isn't it? All of a sudden, they're like, I need you. I need you to come over here and speak. What you're talking about is what we need. Okay. You are speaking to my heart as someone to remind me of the lives I have touched, changed, inspired over the past 4 years. And that is the mission. I may not get thank you, but because of the purpose that, you know what? Purpose on my life. Lives are changed. Amen. Yes, they are. Okay. And you should never forget that, especially when people send you thank you, those special ones, right? The emails, the text messages, the, drop in comments on your social medias. There is so much going on, right, with this. But I'm going to tell you something here, madam. The laughter and the snickering and the snide comments aren't going to break us. Okay. It's building us every single day. And it is teaching us to stand firm in our purpose and reminds us that we don't need everyone to believe in us. We don't need that. Okay. We only needed to believe in ourselves. And we have to affirm that every single day. Like, yep, I believe in myself. I do every single day. So if you're out there doubting your dream because someone else can't see it, remember this: their laughter is just noise. Your vision is the real music. Okay, you can hear it. So keep playing it louder and prouder than ever before. The right people will dance to it. Okay, the right people will be in your corner, and the rest, they're going to either catch up or they're going to sit on the sideline, as they have been doing, some of them, and kind of look at you and go, oh, either way, I want you to keep slaying it. Okay, either way, keep slaying it. And here is some tips, if you will, that I'm going to share with you, right? One of the things that I would say to keep us going is don't let that energy discourage you. Okay, don't let that energy discourage you. Already know that it is there and it exists. So that way you can really like, okay, it's going to be there. I'm going to face it. Somebody's going to come up here and start talking crazy. All right. And that's okay. So if you feel a little bit of pushback, that is confirmation that you are on the right track. When you step into the higher version of yourself, not everyone will clap and give you praises, and that's okay. Okay. Your job isn't to shrink to make them comfortable. Your job is to shine so brightly that they have no choice but to adjust their perspective. That's how I'm rolling. Okay. I don't even let it get to me. And so the tips that we gotta do to keep slaying without apology, because I'm not apologizing for what I'm doing at all. We got to stay rooted in our whys. What is our whys? Why did you start your rebrand journey? Okay. Why does it matter to you? Keep that purpose front and center so that way you can drown out that noise. That's one. Number two, you got to surround yourself with people who see your growth, okay, as inspiration. When I'm on LinkedIn, y'all, because I show up on LinkedIn every day because that's where I get all my opportunities. I'm just putting that out there. I get confirmation all the time. The word that comes up on repeat is inspiration. You are so inspirational. You inspire me to keep going. Your stories inspire me to get back up again. Okay, so what is the words that people are saying about you when you're showing up? All right, that's where they see that, and that's your purpose. All right, so this is not a competition. What you're doing is not a competition. This is personal branding is about you. And when you're rebranding yourself, it's about you. So you have to surround yourself around a strong community of like-minded people and go-getters that will keep you grounded. Okay. I, because I'm so driven and I'm a very ambitious type woman, um, when people say that they're kind of like not doing anything or like staying stagnant and they're just doing, the everyday mundane things, I can't get down with you like that. I'm just saying, that's just me. That's just how my mind operates. I'm very wired in a way where, yes, I was always ambitious, per se, based on my career experiences, but I do things a little bit differently now. Right? I have boundaries. All right. I have a structure that is not so regimented that I can actually keep up with and not feel like I am being, like just, I don't know, just being thrown here and there without any intentions behind it. I'm not doing that no more. Okay. So we got to be around strong minded people, like minded people. So if you're in networking groups or partnerships, you all have to be on the same page. And if you're not, you need to like make a decision and pull away from that and find another community that's going to help you grow. And you also have to let your doubt or let their doubt in you fire you. Okay. Every look that I have gotten, which is like of skepticism or dismissive comments that I have received, is just proof that I'm daring to be different. Okay. I'm daring to be different. And now I'm setting out on my course to do that. So I celebrate my wins. I don't know if you are celebrating your wins, right? Think about it, right? Whether they're big or they're small, you have to acknowledge how far you came and celebrate that. When you focus on progress, those outside opinions really lose their power. Okay? I don't have time to figure out like what they're saying about me anymore. I'm not doing that. So when you look back for a year from now, all right, because we're about to go into 2025, we like starting today, you're going to be most proud when you have silenced the noise. Okay. And you're not appeasing to others. Will you be celebrating the woman who keeps showing up and shining and glowing up no matter what? Okay. Because you're just not rebranding, you're really reclaiming your narrative. And so you should stand up tall, stay bold, and keep pushing forward. All right. Because the world doesn't need less of you, it needs you in full volume more than ever. Look at the temperament of the world today. It's just a sad situation. All right. But as leaders, those that have a purpose, those that have a calling on their life, we know where we're supposed to be going. So I just encourage y'all, okay? This is just reality. Investing in your personal brand is going to scare other people because they don't want to see you glowing up. They don't want to, sometimes they be like, "Oh, you think you better than everybody." All right? You just too much. You just doing all these things, right? What is all this for? Well, because I was told that this is something that I needed to do based on where I have came from. I'm from Kokomo, Indiana. It's a small town, 50,000 people. When you stay in Kokomo, that's kind of like, that's the life. And that's no shade. I just wanted to do something different. So I decided to go into the military on a whim. And then I realized that this was something that I can continue to do. And even people ask me, why do you do 30 years? You should have just retired at 20. Well, because when I was serving, I said, you know what? This is something that I'm good at. Okay. And I want to just get better and better and better at what I do and how I do my service. I'm a proud woman veteran. All right. I never dismiss that. But, other people will question what you're doing, why you're doing it. So give them something to talk about, y'all. Give them something to talk about. So, all right. So I just gave us a little bit of story, a little bit of encouragement, right? Um, so don't let that energy discourage you. Don't let people tell you that you're crazy and you falling off your rocker and you can't do what you do. Got to stay rooted in your whys. Build a power circle of people, like-minded people who are doing things to grow and to build others up. You got to turn that criticism into fuel. It makes me, want to do more. It makes me want to be able to show up differently as I do because people are really afraid to do that for themselves. And then I celebrate my wins. I have 1,000,001 wins that I can look back on and go, you know what? You are on the right track. And, it doesn't matter, right? What they're saying. Yes, it may hurt your ego just a little bit and you may doubt yourself, but that's when we affirm ourselves, we validate ourselves, and then we just keep going and we keep slaying. All right. So, thank you so much for being here with me on this live today. We had stories of unapologetic confidence. Jan Quill was here with us as well on LinkedIn. I will be back here on the program, if you will, on Sunday night. I have a guest at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Slate to Success Talk Show. And I will be back next week on the Rise and Slay Morning Show next Tuesday at 10. And now I came early because I do have several other things that I have on the schedule for today. And I did not want to just say, no, I'm just not going to do it today. I'm here, okay, showing up. And making sure that I stay consistent. And I want you all to have have a great day. Have a slay amazing day as well. All right, y'all. So keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. And I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.